Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros.
And
August 1.
Yeah, August 1. It's a Thursday morning. So far, so good. I mean, at least in this part of the metro, tinitignan ko kasi. Walang ulan.
naman
Walang
ulan.
si Haring Araw.
And I heard also yung pag-asa earlier, sabi
ganun.
nila it's going to be, we're gonna have fair weather today.
Yeah, yesterday kasi they were monitoring an LPA pero sinabi nila na most likely baka malusaw. So pinabigyan tayo ni God with another day.
Pwede na makapaglaba, makapagpatuyo.
Another day with Haring Araw na nakasilip.
Exactly.
Ako mga nag-aabang, kung mag-aaway kami ngayon, ewan ko na lang. Basta kung sadyain kong kontrahin ang aking asawa.
Yan basta ano lang siya kontrabulate.
Madami kasi tayong pag-uusapan pa, madaming updates na naman. Even sa Olympics, madami na naman updates. All of this, we're serving you news in a countdown.
Yan. All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
We begin our countdown with Senator Sani Angara. He faced his colleagues in the Senate for one last time as he steps in as Education Secretary. Angara expressed his gratitude after the senators passed a resolution which expressed their commendation for him. The new DepEd chief says he will miss the camaraderie and the spirited debates with his fellow lawmakers. While Angara was at the podium, Senator Win Gatchalian and his girlfriend Bianca Manalo were seen kissing. Ayan yung picture. In an Instagram post, Angara says his speech obviously brought people together.
Nag-trending yan Tapos yun nga siya pa yung... Siya din yung nag-post niyan. So, tas nag-trending na nga dahil nga yan confirmation din na hindi on the rocks.
Pero alam
yung relationship ni Senator Gatchalian at saka yung kanyang girlfriend. Kasi nagkaroon ng issue yan
Hindi ko alam. Hindi ako updated masyado.
Pero a few months
I
ago
wanted to kasi talk about yung picture kay Senator Angara. Seeing his white hair makes me feel old. Kasi alam mo naman noon, si Senator Angara nung bago-bago pa lang sa politika. Di ba? Mga maverick senators ang tawag sa kanila. Black hair, mga slim, di ba? Parang naalala mo yung mga Spice Boys ng congressmen. Sila Senator Mig Zubiri, I think Chis Escudero, Cayetano, yung mga grupo nila. Di ba ngayon, all of them have white hair. So,
ganun talaga ang buhay. At least tumatanda tayo. Pero yun nga, yung itsura ngayon ni Secretary Angara, mukha na talaga siyang secretary.
Sabi kasi ng mga tao, yung mga secretary, mani-differentiate mo daw from yung mga senators. Kasi
ito mga groundwork kasi
yung mga secretary nakikita mong hindi nakabarong, mukhang pagod, may eye bags. Yung mga senators naman, mukhang pagod pero naka-brush up, naka-tuck in, diba? Shiny shoes.
Senator Escudero nga, hikaw pa diba?
Ay, nako si SP Cheese ever since fashionista. Plus, asawa pala niya si Hart. Diba, very keen na magbihis daw si SP Cheese, di ba?
Anyway, so...
by the way, mga nagtatanong bakit wala silang nakitang tinapay, it's because this morning we have
brunch naman tayo
typical Pinoy breakfast, mga silog, sinangag.
Yes.
Ako, Hungarian sausage.
Ako po ay,
with
of course,
egg.
Bacon. Kakain tayo mamaya. Kasi before this, bago tayo umeri, kumain tayo ng pansit. Sa medyo pusok pa.
Bago ng pansit, kumain tayo ng pandesal. Bago ng pandesal, uminom ng kape.
So marami po kami kinakain bago pa lang magsimula. Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown. Landing at the 9th spot is the 2025 midterm elections. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, reported that at least 4.8 million voters have registered for next year's polls. Based on their latest data, the total number of voters is expected to reach 68 million. Calabarzon has the highest number of voter applications with around 800,000, while the Cordillera Administrative Region has the lowest number with 64,000 voter applications. COMELEC also said it has simplified the reactivation process of deactivated voters. They can obtain their forms for reactivation from COMELEC offices or from their website. Kasi diba, the other day, meron tayong binalita dito about several millions of voters
may flying voters.
Na tinanggal na sa system because hindi sila bumoto ng 2 major elections or yung iba namatay, diba? So sabi nila, dun sa mga kailangan i-reactivate yung kanilang pangalan nga para makasama dito
Kasi
sa
alam mo
pagboto,
yung-
punta lang sila sa COMELEC.
Especially pag midterm elections na you're voting for senators.
Right.
Madami-dami. Very critical ang tinatawag nilang independent voters or swing voters, di ba? So, what we're talking about, reactivated voters, newly registered voters, meron din yung tinatawag din new voters, yung mga never voted before,
Yes.
na ngayon pa lang boboto. Yung mga yan
18
kasi,
years old na.
kumbaga, malleable pa yung brains nila. In other words, pwede pang maiba ang choices nila.
Mahubog.
Yung mga reactivated voters kasi usually may ano na yan may voter preferences na yan voting preferences na nakikita yan Pero yung mga new voters, mga bata, yan ang kailangan turuan natin ng tama kung sino iboboto. Huwag magpapasilaw sa kasikatan o di ba?
So anyway, ito pinag-uusapan nga natin ng mga voters registration. Kung
Yes.
mga kailangan magpa-reactivate na kayo. Dun sa mga hindi pa nagpa-register,
4.8.
magpa-register na kayo because every vote counts. Alright,
4.8 million voters registered.
go
Okay.
ahead.
On our top 8. 888 na yan. The Pinoy staple, rice. Select Kadiwa stores are now selling rice for as low as, you heard it, 45 pesos per kilogram. For the details, let's bring in Mobile Journal. Francis Orsho reporting live from the Bureau of Plant Industry in Malate.
Hey, Francis!
Did we hear it right, Francis? Francis, nakamute ka. Kanin ka muna, Francis.
Ayan, good morning Angelo.
Francis, kailangan mo ng kanin. Nakamute ka pa kanina. Hindi, Francis, tama ba yung dinig namin? Bakit 45 pesos? How did they come up with that computation?
Yes, Angelo, itong 45 pesos ay bahagi ng Rice for All program na official launching nga today ng Department of Agriculture. At nasa 4 na Kadiwa stores yan ngayon at mabibili nga ng mga customers starting today itong 45 pesos. Dahil bahagi ito ng Rice for All program, ito yung isa sa mga ginagawang mitigation ng Department of Agriculture para nga daw makatugon doon sa inflation na nangyayari ngayon sa bansa at makatulong sa mga vulnerable sectors, including halimbawa yung mga 4Ps members, mga PWDs and senior citizens. But this Rice for All program ay para sa lahat naman ng sektor, Angelo.
Linawin ko lang, Francis, before you move on. Linawin ko lang, yung 45 pesos na sinasabing rice na to, anong variant to? Is this a good, magandang klase, well-milled ba ito, or is this the cheaper kind?
It's a well-milled rice, Angelo, at it's an imported rice din. Galing siya sa Vietnam. Itong mga bigas na ibinabagsak ngayon dito sa Bureau of Plant Industry, dito sa Malate, Manila.
Okay. So, linawin ko galing sa Vietnam. Imported rice ang 45 pesos per kilogram. Okay, sige.
Kasi, di ba Francis, ang 29 pesos naman na nilaunch nila few weeks ago ay yung mga stock sa NFA, tama?
Yes, Angela, tama ka. At mabibili rin yan dito ngayon sa may Kadiwa store na pinuntahan natin. Kasi dalawang choices yung pwede nilang bilhin. One from the 29 pesos at yung isa nga ay 45 pesos.
So, just to clarify lang, Francis, yung 29 pesos ay pwede pa rin, nandiyan pa rin ngayon. Kaya lang, ang 29 pesos ay limited lamang yan, no? Para sa mga ibang selected beneficiaries. Can you tell us more about it para mas malinaw tayo, Francis?
Yes, Angela. Yung 29 pesos ay para lamang doon sa mga vulnerable sector, particularly sa mga 4Ps members, sa mga senior citizens at sa PWDs. Kasi halimbawa, sila nga yung lalo na yung mga 4Ps members sa mga nandun sa poor kumbaga sector ng ating lipunan. Kaya sila lang yung kumbaga pinaprioritize para dito sa 29 pesos na bigas. Pero yung 45 pesos, again, dahil nga doon sa Rice for All na sinasabi ng DA, para sa lahat itong 45 pesos.
Okay. So, kasi usually, Francis, no, yung 62 to 66 peso variant, yan yung mga Vietnam well-milled rice type yun So, 45, medyo mura yan. Ang question is, since sabi mo nga Rice for All, if I were to go there, can I buy 100 kilos or may limit?
Limited lang din ito, Angelo, no, na up to 5 kilos lang yung pwedeng bilhin ng mga customers per day. Pero halimbawa, pwede naman silang bumalik bukas para bumili ng another 5 kilos. Pero kada araw, 5 kilo lang yung pwede nilang bilhin. Parehas yan doon sa 29 pesos at saka sa may 45 pesos na bigas.
So, per day, per day or per family or per person? Kasi kung pipila ako, mamaya-maya, pipila si Angel, kuha din
Pero
siya.
one household lang
One
kami.
household lang kami. Do they check that ba, Francis?
Nilinaw naman ng Department of Agriculture kanina, Angelo, na pwede naman silang bumili halimbawa sa susunod ulit na araw kasi kung bibili sila ngayon ng 5 kilo, pwede ulit silang bumalik bukas hanggang sa Sabado since yung schedule ng Kadiwa stores dito, yung operating
pwede.
schedule nila ay from Thursdays to Saturdays.
Sige. Gaano ba karami yung Kadiwa stores na nagbebenta ngayon ng both 29 pesos and of course itong 45 pesos na mga bigas?
Angela, since kaka-start pa lang yung launching nitong mismong Rice for All program, nasa 4 pa lang na Kadiwa stores yung nag-o-offer nitong 45 pesos na bigas. Kabilang itong Bureau of Plant Industry sa Malate, Manila at itong Food Terminal Incorporated sa Taguig City, sa Porterero sa Malabon City at sa Liano sa May Caloocan City. Pero sinasabi naman ng DA na in the following days, asahan na mas dadami pa yung mga Kadiwa stores at madadagdagan pa yung mga Kadiwa stores nga na magbebenta nitong 45 pesos na bigas.
So far, Francis, nakikita ko marami ng tao sa likod mo. Itong mga tao na ba to ay mga bumibili o mga kasamahan lang din natin sa DA? Francis?
Itong mga nakikita natin sa likod, halimbawa itong mga senior citizen, dahil sila yung mga priority ng DA. Yan, mga sila yung binibentahan ngayon at mula pa kaninang alas 7 ng umaga nakita natin na tuloy-tuloy yung pagdagsa ng mga mamimili dito, lalo na nga mga senior citizens at within the vicinity lang din sila, malapit lang din sila dito sa Malate, Manila, yung mga karaniwang customers na nakausap natin.
Very quick lang, Francis, pwede mo ba kami mapakitaan nung 45 pesos na bigas? Tapos baka pwede mong maamoy kung okay ba yung amoy niya, maputi ba, marami bang bato or malinis? Diba? Just para lang may idea kami, anong itsura nitong 45 pesos na bigas.
Kung well-milled
Sige,
rice ba talaga
lalapit
yan?
tayo dito. Itong nakikita natin, ito yung 45 pesos na bigas. Siya nakasarap pa siya. Pero kung titignan natin yung mismong bigas, mas better yung kulay at yung quality niya syempre compared dun sa
Malaki
29
butil.
pesos. Kasi kung titignan natin itong 29 pesos naman, actually sabi kanina ng mga customers, medyo ayun nga madilaw-dilaw tapos sinasabi nila may amoy, pero bibilin pa rin nila syempre kasi nga mas mura tsaka mas affordable compared dun sa presyo ng bigas sa market.
Oo. Alright, sige. Maraming salamat sa iyong oras. That was our mobile journal, Francis Orsio. Hindi ba pwede buksan pala yung bigas
Hindi
nakabuhol na eh.
tapos hawak-hawakan mo, di ba? So, And the so-called Davao Group is now facing drug smuggling charges filed by former Senator Antonio Trillanes.
We are just getting started, mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. watching Brunch here on One News. Ngayon po ay August 1 at it's Thursday today. Batiin ko lang itong mga nanonood sa atin via YouTube, si Mark Santiago, Ronald Maxtay, Oscar, Gabriel Romero, at saka yun nga, sabi ni Ronald Maxtay, baka daw yung binibentang 45 pesos ay luma or amoy aparador, kagaya daw nung pinamigay nung pandemic. Hindi naman daw, sabi ng ating mobile journal.
Well-milled Vietnamese rice.
Yes,
So, it's just, mas mura talaga yung imported because yung tariff rates may mga cuts yan.
Right. Si Gary ko, nanonood din
Gary
sa atin.
Field, good morning.
Si Tita Daisy, Tito Naldi Cancio, lagi nanonood sa Tito Nito, at saka Tita Bessie.
And good morning din kay Jeff. Nagpapabati si Jeff, viewer natin dyan sa Facebook naman yan.
Si JR Domingo, yung lumapit sa atin before sa isang mall yun.
Yeah.
Nanonood daw siya sa atin. Okay, sige, let's continue with our countdown. Coming in now at our 7th spot, most senators are calling for the suspension of the PUV modernization program. At least 22 senators have signed the resolution for the temporary suspension of the program. Senator Joel Villanueva, for one, says the provision of subsidy for drivers and operators is not clear. Some groups of modern jeepney drivers are set to hold a transport caravan to oppose the suspension.
Mismong Land Bank officials, mismong DBP officials, mismong sila nagsabi na yung amount na, yung amount, 2 million, cost na gusto mong i-push dito sa modernization, napakataas. Ang average, 650 pesos a day. That's absurd. Kaysa naman malubog sa utang, syempre, mapipilitan po yung mga kababayan natin na huminto na lang sa biyahe, kumonte yung babiyahe, mawawala ng trabaho.
Ang dami nag-question sa move nito kasi parang sinasabi nila matagal na po ng ongoing tong modernization processes.
Bakit ngayon lang?
Bakit ngayon nyo lang question at
ngayon lang kayo nagsalita actually.
At nagsalita at maisipan mag-suspend. Parang it's unfair daw for those who...
Kapit na election. Joke lang.
It's unfair daw for those who complied with the deadline and nagpakahirap mag-consolidate at mag-join ng mga kanya-kanyang cooperative. Ang part naman ng Senate, sinasabi nila hindi naman kinakancel. It's just that gusto nila i-suspend to review what needs to be done. Ang problema kasi, yung phase 1, halos ginawa na eh. Diba? So, siguro in the meantime, why don't we review IRR of the colorum who did not comply? Diba? Ano ba ang ruling mo dito? And then let's review about the routes muna. Baka ano yung ilan pa ang kulang. Kasi baka based sa, kunyari, ilan ang colorum natin, ilan ang hindi nag-comply. Sabihin mo na 30,000 kunyari. Let's take a look at the routes. Ilan ba ang kulang sa mga route? Okay, sa mga colorum, sa 30,000, we will give you a chance. Kailangan namin at least 15 from the 30,000 para mapunuan yung routes. Pwedeng ganun, pero yung to outrightly suspend, all of a sudden, when the others have complied.
Yun nga sinasabi ng iba ng mga nakapag-comply na sila ay magkakaroon naman ng strike kasi paano naman daw
It
sila
is unfair.
already move forward.
Sumunod na sila eh.
Pero yun nga, ang sa akin naman, ang okay magkaroon ng modernization program basta hindi mahuhuli yung mga karamihan sa atin ng mga jeepney drivers because yan ang nagiging reklamo ngayon, di ba? Of course, okay, maganda yun, magkakaroon sila ng sweldo, magiging maganda sa environment, mas maayos yung magiging sasakyan. Ang problema kasi, yung mababaon sa utang, yung mga jeepney drivers, dahil nga sa kakailanganin nilang pagkuha, pagpapagawa nga nitong modern jeepneys, na nung before that, ay pinupush nga nila itong parang minibus. Tapos nung nagkaroon lamang, ito yung nakita ko lang observation ko, nagkaroon lang ng suggestion ito sila Elmer Francisco na pwede naman pala maging modernized and then we can still retain the look of yung traditional jeepney natin. Tapos mas mura pa dun sa sinasabi nila. Now, DOTR are saying na hindi naman namin nililimitahan yung pag-modernize sa foreign manufactured jeepneys only. Meron din naman. Pero before that, hindi naman clear na yun ang
hindi pala nililimit, meron lang silang parang recommended partners. Pero it's up to the cooperatives pa rin daw to choose where to buy. At anyway, hindi lang na-promote na maigi yung local players.
Oo, kaya nga sinasabi nila, ba't hindi ito kasama sa sinabi ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa SONA? Diba? O,
Kasi
sige.
magulo pa siguro sila on what to do about it, and as of this moment lang, hindi nila alam kung ano yung magiging direksyon ng PUV.
Maraming mga ano dyan maraming mga sinasabi na, sige, implementation ng PUV modernization program. Saan nyo ilalagay? Yung mga may impound. Number 2, yung colorum guidelines. Hanggang ngayon, hindi
Basta
pa nila
para ang
binababa
ano
yun.
rin, sabi kasi rin ng iba, and before we go, move on quickly, no? It also sets a bad precedent na moving forward, if there's some programs that the government has already implemented, kung ayaw ng isa, uurong ako, urong sulong, di ba? While it's nice that you listen also as a leader, magli-listen, but sometimes there are times you have to put your foot down to show that you are in control of the
Ako ay
situation.
importante, dapat maayos yung implementation.
Maayos,
nito.
pero ako sana we move forward with this because it's about time to rationalize routes. Other countries are doing it. Italy is doing it. The US is doing it.
But
Germany
not
is
at the
doing it.
expense of the jeepney drivers
Ay, historic-
na na hindi na hindi makakasunod
Oh,
dito dahil
ang
hindi pa
question,
sila ready. Oh.
may hindi nakasunod na jeepney driver, meron din mga nakasunod. Kung may nakasunod, bakit hindi makasunod ang iba? Yun ang point nun
Because itong mga hindi nakasunod, nakakita sila ng, ng butas dito sa modernization program na ito na dapat i-address din ng pamahalaan.
These other people daw who already nakasunod, they also said may nakita silang butas. But they'd rather follow daw the law and then later on question it how to improve it. Parang ang point nila is magtulungan na lang. Let's push through with it, pero let's improve it together. Kasi at the end of the day, tayo lahat ang tatamaan nito. Riders, commuters, lahat. So might as well, I will follow, pero in a legal way, I will voice my dissent and opinion.
That's why importante, mas malinaw yung implementation
Kasi kung
nitong PUV modernization. Wala tayong oras.
Hindi, sawang-sawa na ako sa Tigil Pasada Rally. Hindi, ang napaperwisyo ang
Nasabi
tao
mo lang yan kasi di ka naman sumasakay ng jeep.
Hindi yan. I mean, precisely because I see others who cannot ride, who have no
Yung iba
cars.
na kawawa naman
Nahihirapan
yung iba.
sila. Yan ang point ko.
Yung iba namang marami, thousands of jeepney drivers ang mawawala
Okay, lastly,
trabaho
before we
at
go.
yung mga pamilya nila mawawala ng
Diba? Sila yung mga ibang nagagalit na sinasabi nila na ayaw sa
You're speaking in
PUV. No, yung sa ayaw sa PUV, kawawa daw ang pasahero pag na-disenfranchise sila at naging kolorum sila. And that, how do they reply, how do they voice their opinion? By making a tigil pasada. O di ganun din, hindi nyo diba, parang kinontra mo sarili mo, nagtigil pasada ka para hindi makasakay ang mga tao, para i-paralyze yung commuting public.
Ayusin nila yung
Ako,
for the
go,
driver.
rationalize the route, fix the commuting.
Hindi, wala akong sinasabing ayoko ng
Sumunod sa batas.
PUV modernization program. Sinasabi ko, ayusin nila, walang maiiwan
Bakit
dapat.
ako? Sumusunod sa batas ng asawa. Sumunod lahat kayo sa batas.
Sumunod ka na, wala na tayong oras.
Sunod. Susunod ako kay Direk. Still hot in the studio, and at the sixth spot is the recent flooding in Metro Manila. The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, aims to mitigate the flood in the National Capital Region by 70 to 80%. In a House hearing, DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan said they will continue finishing the flood control projects that has been in process since 2012. DPWH admitted the project's progress is still at 30%. Bonoan added that he is unsure if the project can be finished under the Marcos administration.
Hindi naman siguro lahat. Hindi na siguro lahat. I think we'll try to maximize whatever we can under this administration. Actually, yun ang pan ni Presidente sa amin ngayon that we'll try to maximize actually whatever we can do now under the remaining years of this administration.
Yeah, so 2012 na-delay yan. It's because when it was implemented sa 2012, it took 3 years pa before they started the project because they were looking for engineers who would go on board. Plus yung mga architects were devising a master plan for Metro Manila.
Ilang taon na yung master plan na yan?
No, 3 years.
1 billion a day. 1.4
No, wait
billion
lang.
a day.
Wait lang.
And yet we are still submerged in floodwater
Wait lang.
pag nagbabaha.
I'm not making campaign with it. I'm just explaining.
I'm not saying you make
2012 na implement under the Pinoy administration to. 2015, engineers were on board. A plan was devised. Ang problema, from 2015 up to this point, wala pa rin.
Wala.
We're at
Tapos
30%.
every time na nagkakaroon ng baha dito sa atin, ay nagkakaroon ng Senate hearing para hanapin kung nasaan yung mga yan, kung paano ginastos yung mga flood control projects na yan, yung mga budget na ang mahal-mahal. Timo, sabi nga ni Senator Amy Marcos, 1.4 billion a day kung i-check mo yung budget na yan, sana punta.
Pero yung
Diba?
ano
Mas
ha,
malaki nga yung mga
parang
budget
clarify
ng
kanina
flood
ni
control.
Secretary, iba-iba daw yung computation kasi there's computation from DPWH, iba pa yung nasa MMDA, iba po yung mga grant from the foreign
At
governments.
the end of the day, nasaan na?
Hindi ko alam, ba't ako tinatanong mo?
Diba? Baka
Alright.
pa rin sa atin. Well, we get the point naman din na may maraming mga basura, but still, diba? Saan na yung flood control projects na yan? Alright, sige, kanina balikan natin yung usapin natin
Yan.
tungkol sa
Yan,
PUV modernization program. Go ahead, Diego.
Go, no, go.
Oo, kasi we have on the line, no? Let's get a reaction on that, yung sa sinasabi nga ng Senate, ng mga senador natin na ipatigil muna, no, isuspend itong PUV modernization program. We have DOTR Undersecretary Andy Ortega is now with us on the line. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Sec. Hello. Ay, naku, nawala ulit.
Na-disenfranchise si Sec.
Nawala yung
Natanggalan ng
kanyang
prangkisa sa
Oo,
signal.
kasi we would like to know, of course, yung reaction ng DOTR
Mga
regarding this.
senators natin.
Oo, doon sa sinabi
Mga-
nga ng senators. And I think they also wrote a letter sa senator na sila daw po ay, of course, naintindihan yung sinasabi ng mga senador natin, pero...
The word used naman was hindi man sinabi stop sinabi suspend para pag-aralan.
Mostly ang sinasabi ng mga
Suspend.
senador ay hindi daw clear,
Oo.
'di ba, yung mga implementasyon nitong
But,
PUV modernization program.
Why didn't you take a look at it 2 years ago bago nagkaroon ng final deadline for consolidation? Di ba sana they took a look earlier para pag umabot sa deadline ng consolidation, naayos na sana.
Oo.
Hindi yung hinintay na i-push natin yung iba mag-consolidate, tapos tinap mo bigla. Kawawa naman yung nag-consolidate na.
Tsaka sinasabi nila, noong 2018, 2017, they have already invested billions of pesos. Paano na kung isuspend yun? But, alright, balikan po natin. Nandito na yata si DOTR Undersecretary Andy Ortega. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Yusek.
Hi, Ma'am Angela and Diego. Good morning. Good morning po sa inyong lahat.
Yes, Yusek, thank you very much for joining us. Medyo mainit yung usapin na ito. What is your reaction po about yung tugon ng Senado calling for the PUVMP suspension?
Unang-una, nung narinig namin yung statement ni Senate President Escudero last week, agaran tumulat po si Secretary Bautista, I think narinig yan noong Monday, to give clear picture at tamang status po ng ating programa, which has been embraced by the majority. 83% na po yung sumama sa programa. Tuloy-tuloy na po ito. So I think information po ang naibigay ng ating buting secretary para naman maging klaro po.
Okay, Yusek, I'd like to clarify, before the Senate came up with this announcement, in other words, were you saying na nagkaroon po ng coordination between your department and the Senate na ito ang gagawin nila and pending na mabigay kayo ng more details on the PUVMP?
Hindi po. Nung hearing pa lang, nung sinabi yung plano na mag-resolution, sumulat na po si Secretary Bautista,
okay.
si Senate President.
Okay.
Para po magkaroon na ng mas clear picture, baka may mga konting information na kailangan i-clarify, nilatag na po ng ating Secretary ang magandang programa sa ating Senate President.
So Yusek, may chance ito na mapabilis lang yung suspension kasi if magkaroon ng agreement between the department and the Senate, baka may possible na tumuloy ito.
Unang-una po, resolution po yan, and yun po ay suggestion nila. The program has not stopped.
Yes.
Yes.
Tuloy po ang programa
Okay.
until the response of the President. On the part of DOTR po, tuloy kami sa magandang programa and we respect the sense that the Senate has given.
Okay, Senator Villanueva po has said na malabo daw po yung provision for subsidy. Isa po yan sa mga rason kung bakit niya po sinasuggest na isuspend nga po itong PUV modernization program. Your reaction on that po?
Unang-una sa subsidy po, noong last administration, mga 160,000 ang subsidy, we increased it po sa 280 na malaki po ang tulong sa mga kooperatiba. This year and next year po, humihingi po kami muli ng tulong sa ating Kongreso, sa Senado, for them to give a bigger amount, a bigger subsidy po para mas matulungan natin yung ating mga sektor that we buy modern vehicles. So it's really a matter of the Senate, Congress, helping us para po matulungan natin ng totoo yung ating po mga transportation sector.
Oh, Yusek, what happens po? Let's say for example, natuloy nga po itong resolution ng Senate na isuspend po itong PUV modernization program. What happens po? Ano po ang impact nito doon sa ating programa?
I'll be honest with you, I cannot picture what will happen if this will happen. Kasi po, what does suspension mean? Malaki pong salita yun and malaki pong implication yun. Kaya nga siguro po, if you've noticed the past days, halong lungkot at galit ang nararamdaman ng sektor ng transportasyon. In fact, they plan to have an action, mass action this coming Monday. So, hindi po, it's a big question mark what it means. Sa parte po namin dito sa DOTR, ang marching orders po ever since ng Pangulo is ituloy. We have to pursue this because we know this is good for our commuters.
And may sinasabi nga rin po sila na yung nga daw pong guidelines lamang sa paghuli supposedly nitong colorum ay wala pa rin daw pong naibababa sa kanila.
When you say guidelines, in fact, ang maganda nga dito, even without the final guidelines, kusa na pong hindi bumabiyahe yung mga hindi nagko-consolidate, which is a good sign. It is an acceptance by them na hindi sila pwedeng bumiyahe kasi naman hindi sila nag-consolidate. On the part naman of the government, we are not here to parang punish them or harass them because we are in a world of democracy and fairness. So siguro po, the transition after the April 30 deadline is a success dahil walang gulo sa kalye, but we have to respect the majority and we have to respect yung mga ayaw sumama naman po.
Nasabi niya po ng ilang beses po sa inyong mga interviews na kapag natupad naman po ito talaga, pag pinapatupad po itong PUV modernization program, hindi naman po ibig sabihin na on the spot bibili na po kaagad, uutang po kaagad yung ating mga jeepney drivers ng kanilang mga bagong units. But on this part po and the rest of the implementation of PUV modernization program, nasaan na po ba tayo? Anong parte na po tayo doon sa, anong phase na po tayo doon sa ating programa?
Yeah, successfully done po yung first part, which is consolidation. Tayo po ngayon, we are continuing the route rationalization or LTRP. Ang ibig po sabihin nito, nag-uusap, nagpa-finalize ang LGUs with DOTR and DFRP para magkaroon ng proper document, numero ng mga dami ng sasakyan sa kalye para walang sobra, walang kulang. So this is a very important stage. After this stage, mga 2 years po ito, dahil hindi naman ganito kabilis, doon pa lang tayo obligadong bumili ng modern vehicle, which will be mga 2027 up to 2030. So this is a program that is well studied, but maraming kailangan ayusin para po ba maging maganda. But I think the stopping or suspension, mas maganda po, like what has been happening, ituloy while we are talking to improve. That, for me, is the formula which is best for this program.
Alright, on that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. That was DOTR Undersecretary Andy Ortega.
At fifth spot, let's move on.
At our fifth spot is the recent oil spill. Some towns in Cavite have declared a state of calamity due to the oil spill reaching their areas. These towns are Bacoor, Kawit, Noveleta, Rosario, as well as Tanza, Naik, Maragondon, and Ternate. Aside from this, the province is declared a no-catch zone for mussels, crabs, and clams. Authorities have yet to confirm if the oil spill or oil spotted in the coastal areas of these towns came from the sunken empty Terra Nova in Bataan.
Let's move on to the next. On our top 4, the Philippine Coast Guard continues to seal the valves of a sunken tanker off Bataan. As of Wednesday, 19 out of 24 valves of the MT Terra Nova have already been sealed. They need to do this before conducting siphoning and retrieval operations. Meanwhile, the PCG has yet to verify the extent of the oil spill. The local government of Cavite says it has already reached their shorelines. Oo, nasa shoreline
pinakukwento natin
nila.
kahapon,
Yeah.
di ba, tatlo, yung isa ngayon, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan eh, I'm checking it, hindi ko na
MT Terano si Bradley, yung
No,
isa, yung third.
yung bago, yung sinasabi mo nga
Oo,
kahapon
yung,
na bago.
yung tinignan ng Coast Guard using drones, and then they verified kung ano yung karga. Pero kasi ang problema daw ng Coast Guard,
Hindi, they went there na talaga eh.
Oh no, I know.
Kasama
I was talking
yeah,
about
oo.
as of yesterday nga, they sent drones. Pero ang nagiging problema ng Coast Guard as of yesterday, hindi cooperative ata yung owner, hindi lumilitaw yung owner ng boat because sabi mo nga may issues.
Oo eh, parang nakita nila sa record before na meron na tong issue ng mga nag-smuggle ng diesel.
Kaya pala,
Allegedly,
if allegedly totoo yan, kaya pala hindi lumilitaw.
baka
Oo.
kaya nga 'di ba parang may mga nag-iisip sino kaya nagsadsad diyan, may mga ganun iniisip. Pero yun nga kasi unang-una wala sila yatang permit,
Yeah.
'di ba? Kaya tumakas daw sila. Yun ang sinabi ng PCG. So, titignan natin kung itong ang mga oil spill na to meron kinalaman dun
Ayan,
sa
tignan mo,
Nova. Yan yung sa Cavite.
Yung sa Cavite
Sa Cavite
yan.
ba yan? Tama ba, Direk?
Yeah.
Oo.
So-
diba? So, 19 out of 24 valves, Bataan yun. yung
Bataan,
kanina.
Bataan.
19 out of 24 valves have already been sealed by the Coast Guard. Para ito yung nakikita po natin ay Cavite, no? Para nga matuloy na yung siphoning. 'Di ba? Kasi the more na mapatagal ito, the more na may chances na talagang kumalat ito. Kasi nakita natin sa UP Diliman, 'di ba, yung
Yeah.
Marine Science Institute nila may mga forecast sila na kung hindi mapigilan ito yung mga areas talaga na malalagyan ng
Ang
oil.
Cavite kasi primary ata is
Kalat
still,
oil, rather.
ang primary sa salvage operations is still the Coast Guard eh. Pero yung sa Terra Nova, alam ko it's the other group.
Yes.
Being,
yung Harbor
Harbor Star.
Harbor Star.
Harbor Star is being assisted lang by the Philippine Coast Guard.
Right.
Oo.
Dahil importante yan natin na pag-usapan dahil thousands of fisher folks po yung maapektuhan. Of course, ang economy natin,
Nako,
di ba?
marine life.
Marine life, of course, that's a number one priority as well. All right, let's continue with our countdown.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Ikaw na.
Mina Benyales nanonood sa atin. The rest of our Jessie Mendez,
Yes,
Cash
ma'am.
and Carry family.
Hola, good morning.
Go.
Okay. Tied at the second spot are Michael Yang and Alice Guo. The House of Representatives ordered the arrest of the former President Rodrigo Duterte's economic advisor. The arrest warrants stem from Yang's absence in the recent hearing on the 3.6 billion pesos worth of shabu confiscated in a warehouse in Mexico, Pampanga last year. The warehouse was owned by Empire 999, the company that has an incorporator connected to Yang. The house is currently working with the Bureau of Immigration and the Department of Foreign Affairs to track Yang. He already flew out of the country for Dubai.
Kasi maaaring lumipat-lipat na rin siya eh. So, kapag ka merong ganyang alarm, it will now provide us information kung saan nagka-travel ito because he will be using definitely his own passport.
Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police or PNP accepted the challenge of arresting Guo within 2 weeks. Senator Jinggoy Estrada earlier warned the PNP of slashing their budget for next year if they fail to capture the suspended Bamban mayor.
Gagawin po ng PNP ang lahat ng makakaya po nila within our powers and authority to bring Mayor Alice Guo and others to the jurisdiction po ng Senate.
All right, next. Ito na. Our top story for today is the drug charges against the so-called Davao Group. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV filed the cases in connection with the 6 billion peso drug haul in 2017. Here's the report.
Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV went to the Justice Department on Wednesday. He was there to file drug smuggling and graft cases against the so-called Davao Group. This includes Congressman Paulo Duterte and Mans Carpio, the husband of Vice President Sara Duterte. The charges are in connection with the 6.4 billion peso drug haul in 2017. According to Trillanes, the drugs were brought into the country from China.
Ang pinakang drug lord dito ay si Charlie Tan, nakapartner ito ni Michael Yang. Magkapareha sila ng triad. Tapos ang naging protektor ay sila Pulong Duterte at Mans Carpio. Tapos ang mga naging facilitators naman ito na naipasok ito at naipuslit palabas ng customs ay sina Faildon, sina Allen Capuyan at iba pa.
Michael Yang was a former advisor to former President Rodrigo Duterte. Trillanes says the suspects have long evaded arrest due to their political influence.
Ang mga nakalap namin na ebidensya ay bunga nung Senate investigations noong 2017 din. Pero ito yung mga pinilit na pagtakpan nung Duterte administration nung sila ay nakapwesto pa. Kaya ngayon, nakahanap tayo ng magandang pagkakataon na mag-file nitong kasong ito.
In response, Congressman Duterte says Trillanes should bring the case to the court. Pulong maintains that he is innocent and that he will be cleared of the charges. Trillanes says he will file more charges against the Dutertes in the coming weeks. For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Okay. So yung sinasabi nga dito ni former Senator Trillanes, si Charlie Tan, yung pinaka-drug lord. Yun yung kanyang allegation.
Yes,
na ang kapartner nito ni Charlie Tan is si Michael Yang.
Michael Yang.
Kilala natin kung sino si
Actually, matagal
Michael Yang.
na binabanggit ni Senator Trillanes to before pa ng panahon ng admin ni Rodrigo Duterte.
Tapos ang protector daw nito nila Michael Yang, no other than si Pulong at saka si Mans Carpio, yung asawa ni Vice President. So yan yung sinasabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
Yes.
So yun yung sinasabi allegedly ni former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. And if you can remember, noong 2017, nagkaroon ng Blue Ribbon Committee sa Senate. Diba? Yung hearing na yan tungkol nga dito dun sa shabu na nakuha sa Pampanga. At dun nga nila nalaman, alam mo yung green lane?
Yes,
na bypass yung green lane.
Kasi may green lane sa mga customs
Sa
area
Bureau of Customs.
na parang in-explain pa nila ang green lane, mga nagbabayad ng special tax para ma-bypass yung pila. Mas lalo,
yun yung nangyari daw dito, sinasabi niya.
Question nila yung green lane, pero parang sinasabi, nag-excuse pa yung iba. Supposedly, ang green lane kasi ginawa kung perishable yung item.
Perishable
kung
yung
perishable ang mga di ba, imported goods na perishable na kailangan i-rush out or emergency, shabu pala perishable.
Kaya sinasabi ni former Senator Trillanes na dito mo makikita yung drug war under Duterte administration is fake because yung mga big fish hindi naman nahuhuli, napoprotektahan, tapos ang mga namamatay yung mga maliliit. Yun yung sinasabi ni
yung mga nag-oppose sa handling ni former President Duterte na drug war are saying that the drug war was geared towards what you're saying, smaller the smaller one, yung mga on the ground na nagbebenta.
Maliliit lang.
Rather than let me rephrase the word. Rather than going after the source, di ba? Yan, sinabi naman ni PBBM, dapat multi-approach yan. You go after the source,
Save the user, jail the
the push. You go matagal ng mantra
Noon
yan
yan,
eh.
oo.
Pero you go after the source. At the same time, sabi niya, let's also go after those who are using. Tulungan natin sila. Kasi if you eliminate the want, yung need, mawawala. Kung nawala ang need, ayan, ibebenta ng mga big fish na yan. Wala.
Ngayon,
out of business.
si Michael Yang, di na nila mahanap. Nasa Dubai daw last time that
And
I
he
checked.
was the economic advisor of former President
And
Rodrigo
naalala mo
Duterte.
siya sa Pharmally?
Yes, Farmer Incorporated.
Yung during the pandemic, napakalaki ng binigay sa kanila na proyekto para mamigay ng mga ang tawag dito, yung mga medical supplies, yung
At
mga
kung hindi
PPE
pa-
na substandard, tapos wala pa lang, parang ang lit-lit ng kapital ng Pharmally.
Kung hindi pa nahuli sa airport, nakatakas sana yung mga Pharmally. Remember, may
Yes.
chartered flight na sana sila na nakaschedule. Naharang lang
Nako.
sila.
Kanina kasi, di ba nagbasa ako ng mga medal tally. Number 1 ang China, tapos Japan, tapos ang Pilipinas wala pa. Pero actually, meron na dito sa amin, meron na daw medal si Diego. Bronze daw.
Bakit bronze?
Para daw sa pagsunod sa rules ni Angela. Sabi ni Gabriel Romero.
Sa tindi ng pagsusunod ko sa rules, bronze ang ibibigay niyo sa
Kasi
akin.
kumakontra ka pa rin minsan kontra bulati ka. Bronze ka pa na. Ngayon, kapag all of my rules are followed, then you can maybe achieve gold.
Hindi, pinaglalaban ko yung bayan natin. Hindi pwedeng...
Alright.
Hindi ko tuloy
sige.
nakain hotdog ko. Gutom na ako.
Si Alex Fuentes nanonood din sa atin. And of course, si Ren V na nag-agree din sa akin tungkol sa PUV modernization.
Asan na yung mga fans ko kanina
Wala.
nung nag-livestream ako na sabi ko magmanood ng live, kampihan
Kampi
ako
daw
dito.
sila sa akin, sabi dito sa YouTube, kakampi sila
Bukas
sa akin.
magde-dress
All the
ako,
way.
mag-lipstick and makeup. Tingnan natin kung dumami rin kakampi
Oy, bakit
ko.
ibig mo sabihin dahil girl lang ako, kaya sila kumakampi?
Not because you're a girl, eh, di ba? If you
No,
have...
because I have the power to... The joke lang. Go na! Wala tayong time.
Ay, nako. I cannot change her thoughts.
Oh, okay.
But
sige.
here, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote. When you change your thoughts, remember to also change the world. A quote from Norman Vincent Peale.
Ayun, sige. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Sige, ikaw
Join
may
us
gold
again
medal.
tomorrow. I'm Angela Lorenzon Castro. And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News. All sides, all the time. Bye!